Hey folks, this is the other Barack coming to you live and direct from an undisclosed location. We have an awesome video of trigonometry going through the streets asking people about Islam. Stick around for the whole thing. Let's talk about it at the end.
You gave me this, and it shows some interesting things that I hadn't heard before, you know, about what the Prophet Muhammad said about equality and about women and so on. And I was interested particularly the last one about terrorism. And it says that terrorism in the Quran, killing of innocent is compared to killing the whole world, all of mankind. Can you tell us more about that?
So in essence, Islam does not allow the killing of innocents under any circumstances. In battlefield, in Surah 9 verse 5, often misquoted by Islamophobes to somehow stipulate that Islam allows the killing of innocents, when it doesn't. It's only when you are in a battlefield and your enemy is coming to you, then in self-defense you have to fight back, which is a given in any form of...
Yeah, well, in war you would accept that, of course. October 7th, was that a terrorist attack in your opinion?
So October 7th, these are many responses given to that. I mean, we have to go back to 1917, 1948, 1967. Yeah. The intricate involvement of the historical events which have led up to these these events that have occurred. So it's just a frustration and overboiling.
But you said it's forbidden to kill innocents.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, it's forbidden to kill innocents.
But they did, right?
Well, that is what an understanding is given. There are different understandings. There is
Oh, really? Well, what's your understanding?
Well, there's from other sources that I've read. Some people are of the opinion that factions of Hamas are in with the Israelis, giving them the pretext to do their acts. Others...
Well, I'm just giving you a thing. You're giving your view. I'm giving my view.
Well, let him finish and I'll talk to you. Yes. No, stick around. I want to talk to you as well.
Yeah, okay. So on that basis, others take the view that it's just reacting to already being aware that, for example, there are natural gas reserves in Gaza, which Israel has become aware of, and through that Red Sea area where trade is taking place, where the Houthis are currently stopping certain shipments going through.
What do you believe? I'm just curious because
I'm just stating from what you hear. I'm not there, am I? So I can't say for certain what exactly has happened.
But you're not there in Gaza either, but you're saying the genocide is happening, right?
But that's very clear for all of us to see. The actual bombings taking place and the death and destruction.
But 7th October wasn't clear.
No, that was absolutely clear as well. But we can't be certain forever as to who done these acts. You see, although Hamas can make unilateral claims, that is just based upon certain factions. There are factions within them who said we had nothing to do with it.
I'm a Hindu, non-practicing. I do support Israel on this. You've got a right to defend. I see all the channels. I listen to people. You know, they're delusional. Unfortunately, people have a right to respond. There are only 50 million Jews in the world, you know. There are 2 billion Muslims. You know, I mean, what is a ratio, dude, mate? You know, it's a lot of bullshit going on, yeah? You know?
Very interesting point. And are you here for the protest?
I'm here for the protest to see what's going on. I heard there's a lot of Hamas supporters here, you know?
Who did you hear that from?
Oh, I've heard it from a lot of YouTube apostate channels, you know. They come here, infiltrate, you know, I want to see if it's true or not, you see. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a Hindu. You know, a Hindu temple was attacked last week by a Muslim guy in Wembley. You know, we're a very peaceful, successful community, far more than the Muslims, yeah? You know, you've got Prime Minister's fucking Hindu, mate. You know? So we don't get involved. Only people like me will get involved if I feel that we're being attacked as well. You know, the Jews are attacked.
Do you feel that Hindus are being attacked in the UK?
We are now, huh? Because they're afraid of... They're not afraid of us, they're jealous of us. Of our success, you know, we don't have any. It's like, you know, there are 10,000 Muslims in prison. Is people aware of this? Go and Google it. It's all there. You know, pedos, rapists, terrorists. There's only 0.4% of Hindus in prison for minor crimes like tax evasion. You know, we're not an aggressive species unless we're pushed.
Have you been here before to these protests in the past? And what did you see? What did you experience?
Well, I've been to a couple now, and they're very well policed, but I do not see any police there. That's what worries me. Yeah. Where are the police? Can you see anybody?
No.
There's a lot of undercover ones here. Look at what's going on here. You know, I could be one. You never know. You know? Man, I don't watch you much, but I do follow you guys.
Why not?
I like.
What do you mean you don't watch us much? Mate, I know your channel. I don't listen to it very much.
I'll try to listen again, mate.
Yeah.
Put it on, mate.
Excuse me, mate. We work hard.
Part of the rest of the video actually is not synced between the audio and the video, so I just want to cut straight to the chase here. It's so interesting when you ask a lot of the people who are anti-Israel what exactly they think about the situation, and then they get caught in the middle of their sort of confession that, well, listen, I'm actually not there, so I don't really know. It's like, well, that's the whole point as to like why you can't really contribute to this talk. Like, you can't talk about something so polarizing, and you claim to have these facts of these arbitrary numbers of maybe the death count, or maybe what's going on, or maybe throwing out the fact that there's a genocide, and yet you say, well, quote, I'm just stating what's going on, comma, but I'm not really there, so I don't know. So you don't know. And it's so awkward because, like, as a grown adult, I don't understand how you're not taking accountability for your own words and your own actions when you understand that you're actually not really on the ground, and so why are you actually saying anything? It's insane to me. It's insane. There's really no explanation. And I have to say, I give a lot of credit to the Hindu man who went there, who clearly is thinking rationally about this whole conversation. And he just said the first thing, which is the most important, which is that there's 15 million Jews in the world. There's 2 billion Muslims. It's like, what are we talking about when it comes to this racial supremacy of Jewish people in the world? Where there's just, Irish people have Ireland and Italians have Italy. Why can't Jewish people just have their one Jewish state where people can leave it alone and there will be no issue? And all of the people that are talked to in these streets ask, they say, well, it didn't start on October 7th. And they go back, well, what happened in 1967? What happened in 1982 Lebanon War? What happened in 1948? But they don't keep going back from there. If you haven't been able to recognize the fact that all of these people just start from 1948, it's because they're hijacking the biggest quote-unquote disaster that occurred for them, which they call the Nakba, as a way of starting the conversation. So it's very funny because when they get asked the question, well, what do you think Hamas needs to be condemned for, especially on October 7th, their response to you will be, I don't agree with the framing of that question because it didn't start on October 7th. Well, great. I'll use your logic too, because I don't agree with your framing of the conversation every time that you say it started in 1948, because this didn't start in 1948. They just use the same talking points every single time, and they use other people's logic to try and create a point where that logic does not make sense. Because if we can both agree it didn't start on October 7th, you're not allowed to start your book on 1948. Sorry. That's just not how the world works. Thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you next video. If you want to continue the conversation, you can support my work for free. Discord does not cost a thing. It is the best way to connect with me and others who are seeking the truth. The link is in the description. But if you want to take it one step further, my Patreon gives you access to the Israel you don't see, uncovering the untold stories of what mainstream media does not show you. The link is in the description, and it helps me to continue this work. Or if you're just looking to help this thing go, PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee is a really easy way to support me. This channel, this work does not happen without all of you. Thank you. I love you. I'll see you next time.